So I'm entitling this talk, When All There Is to Eat is Poison, Part 3. And I'm calling it that because I recently sent out an question on Instagram and Facebook going, okay, if you have a food sensitivity, a food allergy, um, or a particular diet you follow, what are some things that you wish that people had told you before going in? And so I got a ton of great responses, and I wanted to very briefly touch on all of them and talk about personal experiences. Today, I'm going to go over the responses I got on Facebook, and in another video post, part 4, I'm going to go over the responses I got on Instagram. I was so thankful for all of the responses and the insight that you gave me. All these things I dealt with myself, but seeing this, it really helped me not feel like I was alone, and it also really helped me get an idea of just the basics, because it's been so long since I've been a starter on those diets. So anyway, on Facebook, I sent out asking, what are the things you wish you didn't know? And the first response, someone talked about how people are really dismissive about your diet needs. And that's true. A lot of people think you're faking, and a lot of people think you're doing a fad. And most of the time, you really have an issue. Like, if I eat a bagel or if I eat a candy bar, I am going to be so sick. It's really hard as a diabetic because I go around and say, hey, my blood sugar's low. I'm going to sit here and eat my juice and my nuts in my bag. And people are like, oh, let me get you a candy bar. And they're trying to shove a candy bar down my throat. And I'm like, you're poisoning me. I have food allergies. And they think I'm just being crazy because it's a candy bar and I'm dying one way. And so they're trying to save me another. So people are they aren't going to understand. And that's okay. That's why we have each other here online, and that's why you find local support groups, just to find people who really will be on your side. I know locally we have a whole group of women who do, it's gluten-free. It's just like a gluten-free group on Facebook, and we all talk about it. And I love that group because they've been so helpful for me and not feeling like I'm the only person in my hometown that has these issues. And I can talk to them about it, and I try not to bring it up with other people. I just say no, thank you. I know as a diabetic, I bet a lot of you can relate that that's really hard because half the time you can't say no, thank you, especially when your blood sugar's low. And the next one was don't eat at potlucks. Yes, that's very difficult. 90% of the time, if someone says an article is gluten-free, it most likely isn't, or dairy-free. You have to remember that when people cook in their own kitchens and they're cooking with other foods that they've made, like pasta pans, for example. Pasta's like glue, so the gluten's just going to stick to the inside of the pan no matter how many times you watch it. So when someone makes a gluten-free soup in the same pot, you're going to feel like you ate a bagel. Maybe not that bad, but pretty sick. So that's something to go. When you go to a potluck, bring more than one dish. Make like 2 of your favorite gluten-free dishes and bring them so that you have some options and so that other people can enjoy them as well. But don't go expecting, oh, hey, I'm going to be able to eat, because most likely you'll leave sick. The next one was restaurants that claim to be gluten-free aren't gluten-free. Once again, contamination. I'm going to try and write a blog post soon about contamination because it's real and it's hard, and it's half the time it's the same as eating a slice of bread at a restaurant. I know a lot of restaurants like Red Robin. My local Red Robin has a section of their kitchen that is for people with allergies. So they don't bring real bread over there. They don't bring cheese over there. It's just completely and totally separate. So I feel really safe going there, but not all restaurants have that. A lot of places you'll get a salad, but they cook the salad next to the place where they toss the chicken wings. I worked in a kitchen like that once. So they're tossing the chicken wings right next to my gluten-free salad, and the flour is coming up and landing on my salad. So it's not completely gluten-free. So just remember that when you go places, that you're probably not going to be 100% free. So if you're starting on a new gluten-free diet, it's a really important thing to remember. But don't kill yourself. Once in a while, go out to eat a salad somewhere. It's nice to not have to do all the cooking. You may feel a little sick, but find those places that have the allergy-safe sections of their kitchen and then go there all the time. All my friends are like, oh, we're eating at Red Robin. Duh, because Casey can eat there. And don't be afraid to ask for that, because people would rather have you feeling healthy than not joining them. And if they do, then they're terrible friends. One of the things another person wrote about being vegan was when you're going to a family function, bring a hearty vegan friendly side. because a lot of times you go to different places and you're vegan and there isn't the protein that you need that you supplement for meat. Everyone's like bacon and turkey and beef and steak, and you're like, oh yay. But if you're vegan, that's a really hard thing to supplement. So make sure if you go somewhere, I loved this comment, by the way. It was incredible because a lot of people don't talk about eating vegan. And I know a lot of people, like me personally, I can't eat beef. And so one year I went to Christmas dinner and everyone was eating prime rib and there was no protein for me. And it was my own fault because I knew we were making prime rib, but it didn't connect that, oh, meat is the main protein course, and is like, especially as a diabetic, I needed that. So if you're vegan, make sure that you bring to an event something hearty that's going to fill you and satisfy you, because a lot of people don't understand the vegan diet, and it is very important, and it's a great it's helped a lot of people. A lot of people feel very strongly about it because of animals and the treatment of them, and I'm 100% for that. So don't hesitate to bring something big and something filling. And one of the things someone else commented in was, don't be ashamed of taking your own food somewhere. And that's hard. A lot of times people ask you, why are you doing this? Or why did you do this? Or, well, my kitchen's fine. Why didn't I do it? And I'm like, I'm bringing it because I want to be safe. I don't want to be the center of attention. And a lot of people probably think you are because you're bringing the food. But if you get sick in the middle of a meal somewhere because you're eating a grilled cheese when you have a dairy allergy, that's going to be worse. It's more to take care of yourself and be a better contributor to whatever event you're going to than it is to not want to draw attention to yourself and then feel really sick. Ultimately, it's really worth it. And last person, the last person on the Facebook said, just realize that when you go places, you're suddenly going to become a spokesperson for your illness. Either that or you go, I'm really full, I don't want anything. And that's true. You really have an option. I either have an option of giving someone the myriad of illnesses that I have and why I won't eat the way I eat. Or I have the choice to say, oh, I'm good, I'm full. Because when I go to the deli counter and they offer me a slice of cheese and they're like, do you want a sample? And I go, no. A lot of times they're like, I get his face. And I'm like, I have a dairy allergy. What can I do? And then they feel offended and I feel awkward. And so half the time I go, no, I just ate a sandwich in the car, thanks, or something like that, just to pass it off. Because sometimes that's what you need to do. Because it gets really sick and tiring of talking about your illnesses all the time. So don't be nervous or scared about just brushing it off. Eat before you go and then say, I'm full, I didn't realize we were eating. Or give yourself a break from having to be the spokesperson for your illness. So anyway, that was a lot, but that was all the Facebook issues, and those are really important. Next, I'll be going over my Instagram, and my Instagram is a little more personal, just talking about rice flours and different things you do recipe-wise. So it's a little more specific, and that will be our next video that's coming up. So don't be afraid to check. Thank you again to everyone on Facebook who submitted a response to my questions about allergies. It gave huge insight. I hope it's helped all of you, and I will see you all soon.